Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Okay, this is now a short talk here. Talk about this hadith that somebody is going to win $100 for it. And there is this hadith, these two hadiths actually from Ibn Abbas. And Ibn Abbas said, when the Prophet ﷺ, and here is the hadith, when the Prophet ﷺ went to Medina, he saw the Jews, fasting the day of Ashura. Ashura is the 10th of Muharram. And then when he asked them, what is this? He said, this is the time when Sayyidina Musa, Allah saved Musa and Bani Israel from the Pharaoh. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, we deserving Moses than them. Therefore, if I live, I'm going to fast, this day and the day after, or 2 days, or before or after, okay? And so there is two hadiths here, but there is another one actually also says, he said that this when the Prophet ﷺ went, he also saw that both of the Jews and the Christian, glorify that day. So it wasn't only related to the Jews. But anyway, so all the hadith saying that the Ashura day was matching with the day when the Jews, it's the greatest day for the Jews. And the greatest day for the Jews is Yom Kippur, which is the highest one. So the question is, we know the Jews' calendar year, and they have a specific day for this, The Jewish calendar year is neither lunar year nor solar year. Because what happened, they follow the lunar year, but every 3 years they adjust, they add a month and therefore adjust, the year. So in this regard, this is why I asked the question, I said, can you match 10 Ashura, 10 Muharram, with Yom Kippur during the time when the Prophet ﷺ was in Medina? To say that he saw them fasting. Actually, this hadith has a problem. And this is why I couldn't understand, why even a scholar argue. When I tell somebody, he said, doesn't matter. I said, look, the Prophet ﷺ lived in Medina for 10 years, okay? Either he saw it the first year, or the second year, or the third year. Why do you guys saying that he saw it the last year, and then he didn't live, so he can fast the 2 days? I said, is the Prophet ﷺ didn't observe it for the last, 9 years, to wait until the last year? And in the meantime, there was no Jews in Medina at that time. The Jews was in the Medina early enough, and then after that, they all departed. So if he saw it, it has to be before that. So anyway, so that hadith has a problem even from this point of view, but nobody accepted this argument. But they said, okay, but if the hadith exists, then in that case, it must be, correct.
Did he fast 2 days or not?
Fasted 1 day because they said, no, he died. Yeah, he didn't, but he died. He wasn't alive. Okay, that means, remember, no, but it's not the issue of the sunnah now. We'll forget about the sunnah now. But the question is, why he didn't notice it for the previous 9 years? Why have to wait until the last one? But anyway, so what I did, and hopefully that's what you did, I said Yom Kippur is actually because the Jews adjust their, and one actually person that was there said this, it always occurs between September 14 and October 14. Always occurs this one, So they have, and the reason why, although I said the lunar, because they adjusted the year so they can match. So it's always happened within this time. And remember in Egypt, when they have the war of 67, yeah, they did it, Mossadegh did it in Yom Kippur, which was October war. Because at that time, the Jews have to all be, nobody does anything, So anyway, so I went here, and now with the calendar, went in the 10 Muharram. I said 10 Muharram in the Hijrah 1, what is equivalent to? Equivalent to July 25th, year 622. Hijrah 2, July 14, July 3. You can look at this one here. There is none of the time when the Prophet ﷺ, the 10 Muharram matched any time between September and October. So there is no way you can accept this hadith, this story in this regard. But the only time when it came, it was 10 Muharram 61 Hijrah, And that was October 10, 680, which is matches it between the 14 and the 14. 14. That's the only time. You know, it matched. So during all of the 10 years, the Prophet ﷺ, it never matched. So that hadith, you cannot justify it for this. And somehow people say, oh, because, yeah, it has to accept it and we have to do this. I said, look, you know, yes, there is a lot of hadith I cannot understand, but there is a hadith logically I cannot accept, numerically I cannot accept. So how can you force? And with the younger kids who have to have knowledge and to question everything, they should be able to derive it in this regard. Now, is really the, you know, is the Prophet ﷺ recommended fasting Ashura? Yes. 10 of Muharram was a day that the Prophet ﷺ fasted all the time, even before he became a prophet. Because the 10 of Muharram people used to fast it in Mecca. And here is, as reported by Muslim and, you know, said, and Bukhari and Muslim, he say that they said that Inna ahla jahiliyyah kanu yasumuna yawm Ashura. The people of Jahiliyyah, they used to fast the day of Ashura. Wa anna Rasul samu. The Prophet, he fasted. Wal Muslimun qabla an yufrad Ramadan. Remember, Ramadan became, the fasting of Ramadan came in Medina. So when the Prophet ﷺ told them, when this, he said that after the Ramadan became obligatory, he told them, Inna Ashura yawmun ayyamillah. The Ashura is a day from the day of Allah. Whoever wish can fast it, and whoever wish can leave it. It's an optional. It's not an obligatory. Although before that, before Ramadan was made, the fasting of Ramadan became obligatory, fasting of Ashura was obligatory in Muslims. You know, they used to fast it all the time. So in this regard, and the Sayyidah Aisha said the same thing, in a hadith also reported by Bukhari and Muslim and so on. She said, yeah, and the people of Jahiliyyah used to fast the day of Ashura, and the Prophet used to fast it. And when he arrived, he commanded us to fast it. You know, when the fasting of Ramadan was prescribed, then the fasting of the Ashura became optional. And Abdullah ibn Umar, he said the same thing, that the people of Jahiliyyah used to fast the day in Ashura. And the fasting when of Ramadan was prescribed, the messenger said, whoever wants to fast it can fast it, and whoever doesn't, can leave it. And Abdullah ibn Umar said, I would not fast. He said he would not fast it. He said, I would. He said he would not fast it unless it considered was a day he commonly fast, like Monday, Thursday, you know, the 3 days of the lunar year. Now, so even if the fasting, so we know the fasting of Ashura is also not obligatory, but it is a voluntary one. But the Prophet ﷺ said it has good benefit to fast. So in hadith, but Sahih Muslim, when Ibn Qudada said that the Prophet ﷺ said, was asked about the fasting of the day of Arafat, and he said the fasting of the day of Arafat expiates, you know, it will expiate the sins of the previous and upcoming year. You all know this, you heard this hadith, you know, that, you know. And then he said also, asked about the fasting of Ashura, and he said it expiates the sin of the past year, of your past year. So in that regard, it's a good day to fast. It's going to be Monday, inshallah. So
what about fasting 2 days, 9, 10?
Look, you can fast 1,000,000 days. You can fast every day. But okay. The reason why it's better because of that hadith that we say that the Prophet saw the Jews fasting and said this, you know. Now, if you want to still believe on that hadith, it's fine. I'm not, you know, I mean, it's your opinion. I just present it to you. So I want to listen to the one who's going to win the $100. What was your conclusion? Okay, go ahead. You said.
Downstairs said that it's not possible that the day of Ashura would fall towards 10 years of Israel. And you also said that it would fall in between that time, but on the 61st of Israel,
yes,
somewhere after. My answer was actually, I'm doubting now after seeing it. It was actually 9, 10, 10 of Hijrah, because of the hadith that you said was not true of the Prophet ﷺ. He would fast 2 days after, but did not live to see the second day. So yeah, also I see there that the
So you,
dates don't line up.
so you didn't win. Now let me tell you this. Now I said the year 61 Hijrah. What happened? Everybody know this. What happened in the 60? That's why I said this hadith was politically motivated actually. Because the 61 Hijrah, that is when this day, it's amazing actually. This day is the day when Al-Hussein, Ibn Ali, Sayyidina Hussein, was killed. So I truly think, Wallahu A'lam, that what happened, the Umayyad did not want people to relate that day to this, 10 of Muharram, to the killing of the Hussein. Then they said, oh, it's related to what the Jews, used to do. And that's why that hadith has a lot of question mark around it, because it's just a coincidence. We just look at this, the 1061 Hijrah, 10 of Muharram, October 10. That's a day of Yom Kippur at that year, in year 68. That's during Umayyad time, yes. 61 Hijrah, that's when Umayyad was there. Well, it was 61. Well, it has nothing to, I was just trying, to look at this, but I was focusing mainly, it cannot be right. The Prophet ﷺ, 10 Ashura never matched Yom Kippur when the Prophet ﷺ was in Medina. Therefore, that hadith, by definition, cannot be accurate. So you don't deserve, $100, but you deserve 20 then. So we'll give you just for effort then. No, I said proof that, no, I know that. I didn't say don't prove. I said proof that it happened. That, yeah, it happened. Well, but that means he didn't prove. I want him to prove it happened, to validate the hadith. That's okay. Well, I left the 100 for them, but you guys deserve the 20 then. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll end it now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.